John, I might have noticed it more this game than others, but it looked like you guys almost went to like a five-guard lineup, especially in that first half. Is that part of the game plan, or did that just happen?
I mean, it's not necessarily part of the game plan. I think when they kind of had a smaller lineup in and we needed to get stops, so we kind of put a more of a guard lineup in to be a little more scrappy to see if we can get a couple turnovers and leak outs. But yeah, it's more for like a defensive purpose. We don't really plan it before the game, but that's more of like a defensive lineup that comes in.
Do you feel like that was successful, or how do you feel like you guys did on that?
I mean, yeah, most of the time it is successful. We'll get stops. Sometimes we're undersized and they'll throw it in the post, but I mean, half the time we're getting stops out of it, so can't complain, I guess.
So or do you expect to use that more going forward?
Yeah, probably. We'll probably switch it up. We always switch it up, try to keep the team guessing, so.
Lead was 10 though late in the first half, and you guys went without a point for 5 minutes though. How did that affect things the rest of the way?
I think that kind of messed up our rhythm a little bit. I mean, when we get to that point, we need guys to start playing to their strengths instead of, I think we settled for like 4 or 5 threes in a row. When first two don't go down, we gotta know as a team, especially with our veteran group, to just get to the paint, get some free throws, or get a layup going, get our rhythm back. But I mean, we've done that a couple games in a row now, where we go a couple minutes out and then we'll get down even though we're up by a couple points. So we'll figure it out.
On that end of, I guess, forcing shots, when you guys get those double-digit deficits, is there an urgency there to hit threes more than normal, I guess?
I mean, we got shooters like James and Race, so it's hard to, you don't want to pass up wide open threes, you know what I mean? But when they're not falling, I mean, both of them kind of had a little bit of an off night, but when they're not falling, we just got to know to go to the paint. We got a veteran group, so I mean, they know. We've talked about it, so we'll figure it out.
Second half, the lead got down to 10 a couple of times, but you couldn't push it over the hump. Was it just too much to overcome in the end, or did you find that you ran out of energy, or?
I mean, we kept pushing. They're a good team. When you're down by 20, it's hard to obviously bring it back down to even, but I mean, they're a good team, so we're getting it back down, but they played really good offensively and defensively, so.
Made their free throws too.
Yeah, and they shot really well from the free throw line.
Personal fouls, they're kind of an issue in the first half. Is there such a thing as playing too aggressive?
Yeah, with the new rule change up, it's kind of hard, but I mean, by now we've all adjusted to try not to put two hands on the ball, but when you're getting attacked right in the paint, I mean, it's almost hard not to, so we gotta do the same thing to the other team. That's what I'm saying. Instead of settling for threes, just attack the paint like we did at the beginning of the second half and get them in foul trouble, because that's what they're doing to us.
What's the mood in the locker room right now?
I think everyone's really hungry. We're frustrated, but we know how to figure it out, and we know what we need to do, so we're hungry to come out and win our next game.
All right, anything else for John? Perfect, thanks, John.
Thanks for coming.
Coach will be here in just a minute.
Appreciate it.
we got off to a very good start tonight, and really liked our intensity, really liked our ball movement, and but I got to do a better job of preparing everybody on our roster, so everybody can be ready to compete and play as hard as how we started the game. And quite frankly, how we played the entire second half. The middle of that first half was a struggle. Turned it over, led to points. Defensive lapses led to points, and Trey Kennedy did a nice job of keeping us in the game for the most part. But offensively, second half we showed a lot of fight. Got that thing within 10, which was great to see, and just weren't able to get it quite to single digits. So we'll continue to move forward.
First half, you almost, probably part of the second half as well, you went through almost like a 5-guard lineup.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thought process behind that, and how did you think it did?
I think for us, we knew that their size was going to pose some problems for us, particularly rebounding wise, and so we wanted to limit their opportunities of pounding it inside versus us. And I think we did a decent job of that. Unfortunately, we allowed their guards to get in the paint and get to the free throw line. In addition, our turnovers caused us a lot of points, and it really doesn't matter whether we're big or small. So, but I like the defensive intensity that we had with that lineup at the end of the first half and majority of the second half. Is it something that we always want to go to? No, but the energy and enthusiasm that we had out there on the floor, decided to move forward with it.
You kind of alluded to this, but how much should we expect to see that going forward?
For us, game by game is going to dictate, but coming into this game, it was definitely something that we wanted to look at, that we prepared for, given, their size. And, but, we'll always see it a little bit more given the defensive intensity that we saw and the runs that we made and our ability to get in the paint, probably.
You went without a point the final 5 minutes of the first half, and we went from down 10 to down 22. How did that affect you? How did that affect your rhythm? Second half.
Without a point guard?
You had no points in the final.
Oh, points. I'm sorry.
Points.
I'm sorry. I thought you said point guard. So what was your question again?
Well, you went without a point for the final 5 minutes
Gotcha.
of the first half.
Okay. That's a problem. For us, I think at that stage, we were in the bonus, and we wanted, to do everything we can to get to the free throw line. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get there. In addition, I think we were 2 for 12 from the 3-point line in the first half, and the way that we spread the floor, we want open shots to go down, and but we're going to have to adjust, to the way that we're shooting the ball from 3 in the first half, for us to be able to get to the paint, get some balance, post to guards, as well as get into the free throw line when we get to when we're in the bonus.
In the first half, you had a little bit of foul trouble with the team. Is there such thing as being too aggressive?
I don't think so. We want to be aggressive. We don't control the officials. So, you can go back, and evaluate the film and kind of analyze. I think John had 3 fouls. Well, out of those 3, which ones were aggressive and which ones are out of our control? It's a very fine line that, is, hard for us, to maybe adjust to at times, but as a coach, we want to continue to be aggressive in our stance with our feet, in our help, in our rebounding efforts. So it's nothing that we can really talk about is don't be aggressive. I think you have to, no matter who you're playing.
What's the feel of the locker room right now?
Right now we're obviously very disappointed in our first half effort. We're satisfied with our second half fight, but leading up to this game, the practice that we had yesterday, our concentration and energy at shoot around. I'd like to believe that our leadership and our guys are will take this loss and be disappointed and frustrated, but like we've done all year, move forward, stick together, and be tough as we move forward on Monday.
Is rebounding a concern?
I think in this game we actually did a much better job of rebounding. Percentages, right, are going to dictate a little bit, the rebounding margin. Our percentages were way down in the first half, so their rebounding is going to be way up. But did we give up 2 or 3 offensive putbacks in the second half when we needed to box out? Absolutely. But were we in our small lineups? Yes. So there's a little bit of give and take, in every situation, in every possession that you're in. But absolutely, rebounding is something that we've got to be concerned about, and we've got to improve on it.
You've had some tough times both this season and in the past seasons. How does your feeling currently compare to those?
I feel much better about this team, this group of leaders that we have, seniors and juniors that are playing. So for me, I feel for them. Because I want to do a better job, they want to do a better job. We all want to be tougher and engaged and prepared and ready to compete on any given night. We ran into a very good North Dakota team, but we've got a great road trip ahead of us, and so for us, as a team, I feel good where we are, but we just gotta, fine-tune some of the details, and be a little bit more confident in our strengths. And, I think that we'll continue to improve and continue to get better.
Paris gave you guys some big minutes tonight. What improvements have you seen him make over the season?
Paris was out with an ankle injury, for 6 or 7 games. We've monitored that, and he's improved from day to day in practice. I thought he did a nice job in the first game that he was back. Thought he did a nice job on the road trip. Did a nice job on Thursday. So Paris is aggressive. He takes care of the ball. He gives 100% effort at the defensive end. He's a multi-position guy that has given us a lift in the past couple games.
Is there any hope of getting AJ back anytime soon?
At this point, the status, as I see it, is currently where it was the last time we spoke. So that's all I can speak to.
All right, anything else for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.